Hello and welcome to the Applied Energistics 2 mod spotlight. So to get going with Applied Energistics 2, you're going to need to have Applied Energistics 2 power. Now normally you'll have some sort of power, normally FE power, right? And if we want to convert that over, we need to get an energy acceptor. And you can see this, we're now storing some AE power. So this will convert it over. However, it's not much power, so we might want to put down an energy cell. And we can put multiple down here, and it will just increase the amount that can be stored. So even though we're powering the energy acceptor with this RF and it's converting it to AE, we don't actually, we're trying to build an ad hoc network, which is a network with less than 8 channels. So it's a simple network. Now, the way that we might want to do that is to be able to get some normal power into the network. So if we take one of these cables, these are the cables that will transmit AE power. We can put a P2P tunnel here, and you can see it's going to connect there. If we then place this here, we're going to be able to transfer. And what this will do is this will actually provide a place where we can connect on another side, so we can get FE power out somewhere else on the network. So let's build something that resembles a network here. So we've got the cable coming out there. Let's maybe use this FE power and we can have, say, an alloy smelter. So we can put our smelter down here. Now you'll see it won't connect. But if we place the correct block here, what you'll be able to do is you'll see, let's put in the capacitor, and nothing's going in. So if we take this memory card now, we can shift right click, and this is going to store the 4DF4. You can see that's 4DF4, and now this is 4DF4, and you'll see it's now getting power. So this is a way that we can use a power source to transfer energy through the network. But that's not the core feature of AE. But it is very important to look at different types of P2P tunnel. You can do it for other types of power system as well as items and fluids. Let's go somewhere else. Look at this, the ME chest. So this guy is taking up a channel. And in general, most things take up channels. P2P tunnels will. These things won't, though. Energy cells, acceptors, and some of the items used, like the charger, the inscriber, the crystal growth chamber, they're not going to be taking up channels either. Same with the quantum singularity entanglement thing. So now we've got this chest. If we right click it, we can see it's got this little slot here. We can put in this, the storage cell, and then we can actually access the chest. And we'll put some items in there. So then we can take a look at these terminals. So these are the main terminals that we've got, and these also take up channels. So if we put this terminal down, we can see what's in the chest. And we can place the terminal down anywhere to see what's in the chest on this ad hoc network. Similarly, we can place down the crafting terminal. We can do a crafting recipe and craft there. Then we have the pattern terminal and the interface terminal. So these are the ones where you can do more stuff, right? So with the pattern terminal, if you click on the, you can see it goes from crafting to processing. So with crafting, it's a simple craft. And with processing, we're going to be putting it, and then it's going to be doing something a bit extra, right? So say we wanted to craft furnaces. We're going to need to have patterns in here. So patterns are just these things. So you can just put those in. Not in there, in there. So if we make our pattern of a furnace, you can see this is going to craft one furnace with a cobblestone. So how do we use it then? Well, the answer to that is we need to have these, the molecular assembler, we need crafting storage, and we also need an interface. So the crafting storage allows you to craft. Without it, you can't even do anything. So as soon as you put this down, you'll see it will change colour. And that tells you it's on. Now if we come out further here, what we'll be able to do is we're able to put down this molecular assembler, which doesn't use a channel. But we're going to need it to work. So now, if we take a look at the interface terminal, let's have a look at that. You can see it says molecular assembler. And that's because this interface is the block it's dealing with is the molecular assembler. Put down a chest, let's see what it says. Interface terminal, you can see it says chest. So whatever you place down there is what the interface is going to interact with. And the interface will export and import. But it can't just grab stuff out of the chest. It can put stuff in the chest, but it can't grab stuff out. And there's certain rules in terms of what can be extracted and input. But if you're using a machine that will auto extract, otherwise you're going to have to use the machine to get the stuff back into the interface once whatever you've done with it there. Okay, but we're going to use this for auto crafting, right? So if I put this in here, it's exactly the same as putting it there. So take it out there, and it's not there. Okay, and because I placed down this crafting storage, I'll actually be able to craft with it. Okay, and also by placing this here, you'll notice that something has actually appeared here in the pattern terminal. Before there was nothing. Let's have a look. So you can see in the pattern terminal we can see the amount of cobblestone we've got in the network and also the crafting recipe. In the interface terminal, this is what you see. If you click this hammer at the top, you'll see there's no crafting job active at the moment. So let's do a craft, and we'll say we want 16 furnaces. And you can see the cobblestone is available, and so that should be fine, right? And you can see it's now crafting. And because I'm using a very slow crafting unit, it's going very slowly. And if we look in the chest, we can see the 16 furnaces are now there. Okay, so with AE2, the most important thing to remember is channels. And the ME controller has got 32 channels that will emanate from each side. And there's a few little quirks with channels I'll try to talk about now. So the ME controller's got 32 channels out of each side. There are only a few blocks that can actually handle 32 channels though, one of them being this dense cable. Another one is the P2P tunnel. So we need to create a P2P tunnel. In order to do this, we need to ensure that the P2P tunnel is powered. So we can do something like this, and then we can come out here. So you can view this as this 32 channels is all being condensed, and then you can see the smaller end here is like just one channel, and then it's being extracted or interpreted, and it comes out this side, right? So that's the way to look at it, right? However, this P2P tunnel also will block off any power going through. So this cable is not receiving any power. So even if I connect these two up now, it will not work. Okay. So if I put a Fluix cable here, and I place the chest here, this will not work when I connect it up. And the reason for that is because this part, the actual tunnel itself, is not receiving any power. So in order to do that, we need to... There's different ways to do it, but a common way to do it is to use a quartz fiber. So this will only extract power, and then we'll be able to get the power into this line, and then the P2P tunnel will work. So you can see device online, device online. That's a good sign. As is this saying 1 of 32, and that's saying 1 of 32. We can use this visualization tool. When you see this purple line using the network visualization tool, it's showing you the where the P2P is connected, and it's also verifying that the P2P tunnel is online. Okay, let's take a look at this setup. So I've set up a few things here. First of all, we have some of the FE tunnels. So I've got 2 of those, and we've got an interface, and we've got a couple of terminals. So we've got 5 channels. Now what I'd like to do is be able to get some gold ingots out. So we've got gold ore and then gold ingots. So we can assume that we're going to have... So it's easy to assume we're going to have a load of gold ore, right? So we'll get... So it's easy to assume we're going to have a load of gold ore. So we'll put that into the ME chest. And we want it to be processed. So we can see we've got some patterns here. We'll go to the processing pattern this time. And it's going to be 1 gold ore. It's going to yield 2 ingots. So this could be any value. If you have a way to get 5 out of an ore, you can just put it in there. This is not relevant. This is just how it works. So 2 gold ingots with 1 gold ore. Okay. So this interface is right next to the SAG mill, and of course that's going to mill it into dust, and then it's going to be cooked, right? So if we put that in here into the SAG mill, again it's going to go in there. What this will allow us to do is we'll be able to put... So there's the interface terminal, here's the pattern terminal, and so we want 10 gold ingots. So it needs 5, so it needs to put it in there. But no crafting CPUs are available. So place down our CPU. So you can see we need then to craft. So we can choose 10, and you can see it's going to be 5, and then that will give you 10. And you can see immediately it's going to get to work. Now the gold ingots are not being extracted, and that's because I didn't put extract on there. Always active. Okay, so we then can see we're going to have 10 ingots in the chest. I don't know where that copper came from. It must have been there all along.